A day after Republican Chris Christie named Monmouth County Sheriff Kim Guadagno as his running mate, the two candidates took to the campaign trail. The fresh Republican ticket hit a diner in Cherry Hill, then spoke to business leaders at the Mercer County Regional Chamber of Commerce. State House correspondent Zachary Fink has the latest on the Republican campaign.
This morning, Christie was out meeting voters and introducing people to his new running mate. The choice of Kim Guadagno, a former federal prosecutor just like Christie, makes the ticket rich with law enforcement experience. And some also see it as a way of reaching out to suburban women.
I think she's a very capable candidate. I think she'll do a good job. I think having a woman as a lieutenant governor, having supported Sarah Palin, I think it's a good choice.
I said I was pleased to see an intelligent, articulate woman running, even though I could never vote for her.
But Governor Corzine, who said yesterday that he will choose his running mate in, quote, the next couple of days, said picking a woman will not change Christie's positions on women's issues.
I don't think that that choice necessarily says that my opponent is changing his view on choice or changing his view on guns. In the wake of the tragedy we see in Jersey City, I think the idea that we can't have a one-gun-a-month bill in this state would be hard to conceive of. I don't think it says anything about family leave insurance or preschool, which are issues that women, I think, have very strongly held views about.
The Corzine campaign also released a new television ad today, taking aim at Christie's testimony before Congress on June 25th. Christie was called down to testify by members of the Democrat-controlled House about deferred prosecution agreements he awarded as U.S. attorney. Christie answered questions for the better part of an hour, but also made an abrupt exit.
But when the time came for telling the truth, Christie got up and left.
Mr. Johnson, you're recognized. Sir, I'm going.
Chris Christie, unbelievable.
I have to go.
This is a governor who knows only one way to run for office, and we've seen him do it over and over again: slash and burn his opponent with his Wall Street money. And that's just another example of it. But guess what? I have very broad shoulders, and his record is awful. And that's why he's not talking about it. But guess what? I'll relieve him of his worry. I'll talk about it.
Christie and Guadagno met this afternoon with members of the Mercer Regional Chamber of Commerce. There, business owners told the candidates about their experiences with opening and running small businesses. Roland Pott develops real estate in downtown Trenton. He says crime is a concern there.
Our customers feel safe. Our tenants enjoy being located in our buildings in Trenton. But the problem is when we're trying to lease a space and we have to answer this question of someone that says, how's the crime? So we need an improvement to the perception of public safety.
Christie answered by saying that violent criminals need to serve the full length of their sentences, but he also suggested that nonviolent offenders deserve a second chance. Otherwise, they are likely to commit more crimes.
We should give them drug treatment and some vocational training during the tail end of their prison term to prepare them to go back out onto the streets and to give them a chance and some hope to be responsible citizens.
When we suggested that such a proposal could cost more money and might even sound more in line with the Democrats, Christie denied that was the case.
I'm a Republican. I'm proud to be a Republican. But that doesn't mean that every position I have is going to fit the stereotype that some people have about Republicans. I will tell you that a lot of my Republican friends believe in drug rehabilitation treatment.
It would be hard to argue against the law enforcement credentials of the Republican gubernatorial ticket this year. However, both of them are also Trenton outsiders, and it remains to be seen whether or not the public would want people familiar with state government to solve the state's problems, or people who will come in and take a fresh look. Zachary Fink, NJN News, Hamilton.
And this afternoon, the Christie campaign announced it has raised over $1.2 million since the start of the general election.